All right, what's up, Virgos? Here's another awesome message for December 2025. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Nick. All I do here is give powerful, potent messages. It's like what I'm giving you is technology, but the only way to utilize it, access it, is to write it down and read it through the day. Read these quotes through the day, sum them up in your words, shorten them to simple, understandable quotes, to utilize them. This is technology for your emotions, spiritual technology. On this channel, that's what you get. Powerful, potent messages that only work when you work with the message. So I know what I give works, Now here's how it helps. I'm going to recap November. And on this channel, we ace the month. These questions will help you figure out if you ace the month in November. So, Virgo, did your immediate feelings run the day or part of the day? So, that answer, you say no. And if you said no, you pass, right? Did you enjoy your environment? Did you learn how to deal with someone by how you dealt with another person? Did you learn to be here and just be along for the ride? Did you learn to be here and just be along for the ride? Question mark. All those are questions. you know. But if you did these things successfully or didn't do them, you aced the month. You did not fall to your emotions. You did not let your emotions run the situation. Okay. Yes, learning to be here, learning to just be here along for the ride. Oh my God. As a serious lesson I learned, seeing all this as a roller coaster ride. The experience of my day is a ride I am simply along for. So everything can happen as it does because ultimately it doesn't affect me. I may feel butterflies, but it's just a ride. And with that perspective, I actually can get more out of the day, because there are parts of the day I tend to shut myself down and look away immediately because, it hits me on those levels emotionally. Makes you want to turn yourself down, shut yourself off. But with just being along for the ride, you actually see how you can utilize the situation that you're going to shut yourself down from. So not letting my immediate emotions run the day would help me be along for the ride. And I could find so much, learn so much, gain so much, just simply being along for the ride. Then I understand how much our emotions can really take opportunities away from us. Being in our heads and not in our day is the worst way to be. We got to be in our day as much as possible. So when people ask me how am I doing, how am I feeling, I really reply, I don't know, because I'm just so presently looking at shit. Presently open to shit. Just how I feel changes. Present energy. Virgo, so that, the Chariot card is an action card. It's a success card. It's a victory card. So through your actions, you get victory. But can you have this mentality of victory only being along for the ride? I've expressed this in your readings before, how you can bet on yourself through just being here along for the ride. I wish I found that phrase. I didn't say it that way. It was about trusting in the dark, all the information you take in, good or bad, you still sit still with it. That's the same way of saying being along for the ride. Here's a challenge. The challenge, second card I drawn. This is when your emotions are out of whack. And you need these messages to help train them, so when this happens, you snap yourself out of this experience. Because most likely, it means you could be sensitive, hypersensitive, taking in information, making you sensitive, or you're really in a situation that you haven't had a good streak with. Your history with this situation, with this obstacle, has been like this. Not stable. Hence why this makes sense why your emotions, unless it's the Sagittarius, but I really believe this is your unsettled emotions. Your emotions cannot be calm. You being here just along for the ride is the real test. That is the real challenge. Reverse. So this is your history with the situation. This is your history in whatever obstacle you're having to now learn how to be here along for the ride for. You have to be here along for the ride with the bumps. Those are the bumps. Yeah. All this means is your history of dealing with these bumps and not knowing how to handle them is why your emotions would be out of whack, Is why you'd have all these questions, all these analyzations about knowing that's who you are in the situation. When you can just be here for the ride, you're taking in all this information, all these facts of you experiencing, you taking in what happened, when you really simply were not present, being simply here along for the ride, being along for the ride, all right, saving all the information, not spending it yet, letting information be revealed because the ride isn't over yet. Here's what's challenging you. So what's challenging you, is it other people? Is it dealing with their energies? Is it collaborating with their emotions, trying to bridge the gap? Three of Pentacles could simply be, Three of Cups, my bad. Could you be getting to that collaboration, being able to collaborate with others on that level without involving your memories of how you were and what someone saved about you, know about you, remembers about you. At some point, we gotta just see, and the phrase "being here along for the ride," really helps because, well, I can't factor that in because this is a ride. You can't put your memories on a ride. The ride's a ride. You're supposed to be here now. You can't think about the memories and your past experience, your past grade, how the person would have graded you. That's how people see you. How people see you. What does this really mean? When I say this, what does this tell people? I mean, you can't really do anything. You're going to have to experience situation again. So you can't run from it. And this is the best mentality to have. You're going to have to be in the middle of your emotions, in the middle of the misunderstandings. This could be a lot. The potentials, because when you have all the potential of something you want, potentials around you, all these potential directions to go in, options, things looking available, readily available. It does make you excited, to know I can have this. And then it takes another layer to step back again. Outcome. Interesting. You got these sevens for your reading. Here's the best outcome. So Virgo, you're here to learn. Well, the message for November was about you being here along for the ride. Because clearly, You're so sensitive. It's hard to just do that, to just simply be present in the experience of the situation like it's a roller coaster ride. You should be putting your hands up, happy to experience, excited to be in. So now the understanding is, can you allow the situation to be something you can be excited about? Can you ask yourself, can I be excited about the situation? Is this something I should be excited about being able to face, like it's a roller coaster ride? See my obstacles like roller coaster rides, Accept this emotional roller coaster ride of dealing with these relationships, or this accessing this part of yourself in relationships. So this did come out for, I want to say, Cancers. Is usually when, like, this is where the work is at. You being here along for the ride, it's just gonna bubble up. The insecurity, your emotions are still dropping and getting out of your system. So being here along for the ride, you get to watch these emotions bubble up, and with that perspective, you can catch the culprit called insecurity, or the enemy within you, that's the real insecure person that needs to embrace this awesome opportunity. So you got 3 sevens just as well. You got 3 sevens also. The Chariot is a 7, the 7 of Cups, 7 of Wands. So this is the relationship. This is the yoga. With yoga poses, sometimes you have to sit in the discomfort, sit, in the uncomfortable situations, and you will feel comfortable, feel limber in no time. So that's the ride you got to be here along for. Being along for the ride of getting more comfortable. And it's weird because you have a way to see yourself. So I'm prepared to feel discomfort, then feel comfortable. This is literally all of life. But in this specific month of December, this be the specific experience for you. So you can pinpoint it. How I access these messages, I low-key watch them and rewrite the quote and rewrite and sum it up and condense it and shorten it to where it's a simple word. To you're just saying, just be here along for the ride. And you can see yourself. And you can stop yourself from stepping out of the ride and staying in the situation. Because you're supposed to face this. I read so goddamn simple. And maybe that's why I get so much out of it. I believe this works wonders, This being the best outcome, you have to feel like this. You need to not feel confident. You need to not feel comfortable. Or I talked about, did you enjoy your environment for this month of November? I really want to give an example about how you can enjoy your environment, which this is you adjusting to your environment, when it comes to dealing with these people. 3 of Cups is why I say these people. And the real answer is ignoring what you want, ignoring worrying about what you want, because life's going to bring you the chance to go after and get it. So you don't even have to worry about, you don't even have to sit wondering about how. You'll just wake up knowing it's going to be an obstacle. It's going to be, pretend it's a person who really, who you gotta see, and you're gonna see that person, it's Person you want to see, you got to see. You're going to see that person. Just know you'll be ready. And that's what you're paranoid about. I'm paranoid. Oh man, I'm not going to be there, but thank God it'll be so simple. You'll just have to be along for the ride, because you'll just, and this is the type of living, this is the level of living that isn't desperate yet. It gets straight to the point. You get to the center, to the target, to the bullseye, and you're not even paying attention to the situation. You're over here just being here for the ride. You know, on a roller coaster ride, you can't. Okay, you can look for the biggest peak. That's that. But there's so much part of the ride. The anticipation is part of that too. You know, so it's all a ride. It's all a necessary experience. For all you know, for all we know, what all do we know? I mean, how can we feel like this? It means we're having a hard time being here along for the ride. Because thankfully, this is clarifying this. How would you describe Empress? Not, this is when you enjoy your environment. This is when you feel comfortable. This is when you feel at home. This is when you are in your zone. This is when you're not insecure. You feel comfortable. You don't feel worried. You feel safe. You're at peace. You're not even worried about safety. You're like, what are you talking about? I'm enjoying myself. But in this position, you gotta ask for permission. You gotta look around, make sure no one's irritated. You're watching to see if people are irritated. Am I making someone upset? Can't look at that. So I guess the good thing, if you're feeling nervous, now the problem is just accepting yourself. When you're nervous, you just accept yourself. It's so easy. This is the challenge. So I'm gonna get off camera, because the good thing is you're capable. You already got the victory card here, so you have the ability to succeed. You just be here along for the ride and succeed. So these cards are coming out because you're not being here along for the ride. Trying to defend what you want, when what you want is really what you really want is to get past this feeling. This is the only thing in the way, because you laugh, you realize it's not that crazy. So, Virgo, at the end of the day, it's always about what we take in and what we believe due to our history, due to our memory of what we took in. At some point, you just got to believe I am worth letting myself off the hook and existing and enjoying myself. At some point, we do that without even realizing it. Catching, you never remember how you let go of that stressful situation or that worrisome idea. It was just out of your mind at some point. You just didn't have that paranoia. You forgot, like hiccups. How did I get rid of them? They're just gone. The bad thing is, you didn't pay attention to how you got rid of that paranoia. You just let it go, and you didn't learn how to let it go on command. Those are the moments that we had a solution we didn't even realize we had just now. Like just getting over something. I mean, usually it takes having your toy, your drug, or your favorite thing you do. For me, it was skateboarding, smoking weed with friends, skateboarding and smoking weed with friends. That would help me not worry about it. But now I have to face life real time, 100% at all times. And just not feel paranoid. Just be here along for the ride. Just enjoy myself. Enjoy myself through my obstacle. To deal with my obstacle. I enjoy myself, accept myself is how I deal with my obstacle. And I do that by being along for the ride. Yes, so there are the messages, Virgo. This message will help you for December. And the way to arm yourself is to watch this video and write down quotes, because you really want to ace the month. You'll amaze yourself. So then all we said was learning how to be here, being here along for the ride. Learning how to be here along for the ride. Catching yourself when you're not there, when you're feeling insecure. Because being here along for the ride really means you're being an empress. You're having your self-esteem back. And giving your trust back to the roller coaster to help you ride. Yes, roller coaster. Yes, life. Bring me to the highest peak, the highest level of excitement that I will need to get there by being myself, through getting over myself. So technically, life puts us on a ride only if we have ourselves. So, see the way I just said it, I'm trying to access it again. Life actually does bring us to these awesome levels of life. It's us, were we ready? Were we accepting of ourselves? Were we allowing ourselves to be in the ride, to even see that it's a peak that we're at, See that this is the highest I've ever been in this level. This is the farthest I've ever got in this situation. So just happy to be able to understand what helps me get out of my way. And being here along for the ride is that answer. So apparently, to reel yourself back in, which it technically was November's message, but it was really about... Hold on, that's why I got off the camera. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. It was really about, you being here along for the ride translates to the right action. So, but you would worry because you're worrying about the action to take when you just need to be here along for the ride, and you'll take the right action. That means you trust yourself to know what you're doing. We need to find out how long we trust ourselves. How long do you trust yourself? Only when it looks like you're winning. You should also trust yourself when it doesn't make sense, when you feel disconnected. So that goes back to Gemini's message. Yeah. Did you find confidence in being disconnected? Yeah, I should have wrote this. When I read it for them, I came up with a new quote. I was telling them, did you find confidence in being disconnected? So I did write, did you expect to feel disconnected? Yeah. But finding confidence and disconnection, one and the same thing when you're along for the ride. I mean, some things you don't realize you have it because you're just present. Technically, you have confidence when you're just being here along for the ride. Later, Virgos, there are your messages. There is the message for December 2025. This is me giving you technology to help maximize you. This is for you to get more access to yourself. So what you do with this is up to you. But I know it can help you access yourself. You follow these simple quotes, these simple messages, these simple words. You'll amaze yourself. So first you have to watch the video clearly, focus. Then you have to accurately write down what I was saying. Then you have to sum it up to where it's easily digestible. You can sum up a big ass message in a little quote, little phrase, and there it is. You can illustrate it, you can walk around with it, but make sure throughout the day or sometime in the week, really throughout the day, you read this and then go through your day understanding that, because there is your key to unlock yourself, to unlock to access more of yourself, access more of your month. You're VIPing yourself. You're getting more access to yourself for yourself by getting over yourself. This is power. This is what spirituality is really for. You get to sharpen yourself with yourself, but through your misunderstanding of how you are being yourself. Let me slow down. Just be here along for the ride, okay? And you'll access yourself. Later, Virgos.